Happy podcasting to everybody today, man. So thankful that you guys come in and join Teague's Take. No, we're not talking about the 49ers. No, we're not talking about Taylor Swift. We're going to be talking some Alabama football today, which I'm really excited about. But before we get into that, I need to make sure that you guys uh, make sure you hit up our YouTube page, Teague's Take. Give us a follow, go ahead and subscribe to that and hit the like button where I am at the lantern. And you know what? Actually got this thing on the screen today. Our producer will really love that it's actually on the TV screen so they can actually see the people uh, here. So give us a follow there. If you are watching the show, you see I got on the screen right down here. Take a look at our website, Teagues Take. .com, but I also want you to take a look at teaguesfamilyscholarship.com, donate a couple dollars to that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We got a little gift that came in. Thank you very much, ma'am. Uh, to help someone attend the University of Alabama. We like our athletes, and not all athletes get to be, on scholarship. So we want to be able to help as much as we can. All right, but we got an action packed deal here today. So before we bring in our guest, let me go ahead and bring in the co-host. JT, the analytical one, the man with the plan who ran. Well, I don't know if he ran, but he got out of JP2 pretty quick today to come join the show. So thank you for that. Everybody's waving to you, JT, on the TV screen now that they can actually see you. Man, it took me forever to try to figure it out. I'm proud of myself, and I didn't even show my password, JT. I did the QR code and got it all in, and I
Hooray.
know you'd be proud of your poppy for that. So, um, me and JT are going to spend a little time with this guest that we got, and I want to get him in because we started 15 minutes late, but we got some film to talk about. I wanted to talk to him about some traps. Then I want to get on the board when the time is right to be able to maybe draw up the difference between a trap, a power, and a counter. JT, okay, and then we're going to show that counterplay. Um, well, hopefully, I don't know. I guess I should ask you if it was able to get uploaded
I
the
got it.
one little counterplay that we can do that. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in our guest, the guy that I want y'all to hear from today. This guy was born in Utah, Alabama. That is not that is not spelled with a U. That is spelled EU or not a H or whatever. Like, what do you think? EUTAW, Utah,
Yeah,
Alabama. That
there
is
you
in
go.
Tuscaloosa County. They doing fish fries, foot washes, all that kind of stuff down there in Utah. He did attend high school around there, but he ended up going to IMG Academy, going as a 5-star. Ended up getting at the University of Alabama, two-time national champion. Man, and one of the things that I like about this, and you guys don't know what kind of talent this guy really had, but I believe he had a 40-inch vertical jump at 230 pounds. Yeah, he was running like crazy. Ended up going in the NFL draft in 2018, played for the Cowboys, the Jags, the Seahawks, the Lions, the Raiders, and also in the USFL for the Birmingham Stallions. He is also the host of the Bama Standard podcast. It is on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. I think I got the time right this time,
That's right.
6 p.m. So everybody welcome Bo Scarborough to the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't quite Stephen A. Yeah. But I'll give you what you got, man. So welcome to the show, brother. Thank you for your time. And
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on.
yeah, man. So where you at now? Where you living at now? You can what
Right down the street from you.
uh, Well, I'm glad that you're with us because we need to be able to talk about some of this offense um, and things. But before we do that, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about your the show, the Bama Standard, how they can find you, things of that nature.
Yeah. On Tuesday night, 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, the Bama Standard, on YouTube, the Bama Standard with Justin Riley, Stephen M. Smith, um, Marvin Constant, and Steve Brown, the comedian. And we go live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, Bo Scarborough. And then you can also follow my merch, BoScarborough.com, and get you some of that gear. I also finna have that Tennessee and Alabama gear on there coming up real soon, sometime this week. Hopefully we get it up there before this week is out. But that's what I got going on right now.
I like it. I like it. Well, make sure y'all give him a follow. They do a tremendous job over on the Bama Standard, and I know they've expanded in a lot of different ways. So, uh, hats off to you guys for making that such an awesome show.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, so can we get it, JT? Is it all right if we just go ahead and get into some of this football talk? I want to talk as much football as possible. I think we just need to
Sure.
load in, have the coach speak as much as possible, right? So before we get into showing the film, and I know you're gonna have to do that a little bit later. Um, what does it say? The Mighty Commanders.
So just
Mm-mm.
keep on moving.
Okay. Uh, so blitz pickup. I want to talk assignments. We're going to go jump straight into football, right? Because a lot of people
Yep.
don't understand screens and different things of this nature. But I just want to be able to first set this up to be able to talk to you about blitz pickup responsibilities by the running backs. Because typically we only talk about offensive linemen and did they block and did they not. But the running back is heavily involved a lot of times
Yep.
in pass protection. So let's start with in the schemes that you played for or with who typically makes the pass protection call during the play or before the play, or how does that normally work?
Usually, with every team that I've been with, the center makes the mic call, but the quarterback can overrule it. So meaning that the quarterback can make someone else the mic and overrule the center mic call, and they go off the center, and we go off of the QB call to know who we pick up.
Okay, so to break that down in layman's terms and maybe dive in that a little bit more, so they're identifying a mic, which they're saying is what the middle backer or the
Reach the middle backer.
Well, I think
okay,
the easiest way, at least this is how we teach in high school. When you have a team that has four defensive linemen, or at least show four down, when the center picks a player as the mic, that is the indication to the quarterback and the running back that the line, because there's five of them, are going to take the four down linemen plus
Plus
that
him.
guy,
Right.
whoever that guy is.
that's
Exactly.
right. Okay, so and since you brought that up, and it may be a little bit out of order what we're doing here, but how much more difficult did that become in preparation when you had to play a 3-4 front, right? Because it's easy when there's four guys with their hands down,
Exactly.
whereas when people are jumping around and doing all this other kind of stuff to be able to identify those five with a 3-man front.
Yeah, we usually again they make the mic point, boom. Okay, so we go the mic point and one past point, meaning the mic point, then we're gonna skip that guy and we're gonna take the one that passed the mic point. So you got uh the mic point plus one pass, meaning that you have that weak side linebacker, which is the wheel linebacker.
Okay, so how do you they determine, or is it from week to week? So let's
With
say that no, I mean let's go back to the four down because it's pretty easy for
yeah.
people to understand. Four down, one backer. How do you know if you got to go left or right of that? Where you're saying the plus one? How do you know if you're going to go left or right?
Usually because of if it's an odd front, that means that side got enough to take care of three guys over there, and on the plus three on the call side, meaning that the offense, like meaning that the center guard and the tackle gonna take those three guys, and the guard and tackle and me gonna take these three guys over here, and which meaning that we don't have to look for four strong because of we it's only a one guy over there plus the Mike who they going to and plus 4 weeks. So they gonna take those three. They're four strong. They're gonna take those three over there, and we will have the will and the center and the other defensive end that is down, which is put me on the wheel and yeah, that way we don't have to go back because of they got enough to take care of that, and we have enough to take care of this side. Opposed to When it's a four down front, meaning that it's gonna be the same thing, 3 for 3, which means that if it's an extra guy over there, which again, they'll take that three technique and that five, and plus I'll have plus another guy that come over there. And if it's four guy, meaning four strong, that means I have to go back and pick up the fourth guy, which we already have three over there to get the older three. But if that safety or that corner blitzes and that over or under front, I have to go back and pick up that fourth guy, and that's the only way. That's the way how they when we would talk. We only go back on four down. We don't go back on three down because we have enough to pick up on that side, and I have to help on this side. And I have that wheel linebacker plus 4 week, and you know they got the Mike linebacker Sam and the down guy.
All right. When you say go back, you're talking about going back across in front of the quarterback or
Yeah,
behind.
4 week going back across 4 week,
Okay.
four strong 4 week. If it's on the weak side, it's for a week. If it's on the strong side, it's for strong.
So
All right.
so what I'm hearing is, um, well, so first let me ask this: do you have in the play call telling you or telling somebody whether the protection is supposed to slide left or right?
Okay, so Jack and Jill. Let's go with Jack and Jill. Jack, offensive line slide right. Jill, offensive line slide left.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So Jack and Jill. So you break the hood up. I'm just gonna make up a play. Let's say we just go um, double right, um, South Boston. South Boston is a protection that go either side. So I'm gonna let go Jill, South Boston, or whatever. So we're in the shotgun. I'm on the left side. So if they come out and they in a four down front, okay, I know that I have to check. I'm gonna see who they gonna might point. Okay, they might point the Sam. Okay, I know I got the Will plus plus 4 week plus four strong. That's four. That's a lot of information, right? Okay,
Yeah.
if now we break the huddle and we come out and it's an odd front, meaning a nose tackle, two ends, and you got four linebackers, which indicate that we have to go back because they only have three guys down and they have four linebackers. So it's 3 for 3. So either way they slide, we'll have help. We'll be able to pick it up. That's why we don't go back on three down on our front because it's already taken care of, and I'm in this protection with the offensive line. I make that third offensive lineman. That's why those three sliding that way, and us three is going this way for those three guys. So that's the Jill protection with the odd and the even front, which is the four down is the even, and the odd is the three down when you have a nose tackle, a nose tackle and two defensive end, maybe a wide nine or a five or whatever you may get coming out of there. Or would it depending on the formation you in. If you got a tight end over there, you'll have a wide nine or so.
So if you don't have a tight end, so because I'm just trying to simplify for some of our listeners, if you don't have a tight end and you have to pass protect, what I'm hearing is there is never a hot read if they only bring six, because you're going to be the sixth
And,
guy and you have to play both sides. So there's never a
right.
scenario where you're thinking you're going to pass protect to the left, but a guy comes off the edge on the right. You're expected in a four down to get back to the
I'm
other side.
Yes, to go back and pick. If none of my guy doesn't come, I have to follow the responsibility and go back across and get 4 weak or
But
four strong.
if they both come off the edge, you're going to be responsible for one side, and
I
then
got
you got to play hot on the other
quarterback.
guy.
The quarterback is responsible for
Yeah,
the other guy. So he would throw hot off of that seventh guy
got it.
or that
Yep.
sixth guy.
Yep. Okay. And I hope that's not too much overload, but it is important when one of the things, Bo, that while we're doing this is that a lot of people really interested in learning about the game, and we get a lot of questions about that stuff. It's just because it makes them watch the game a little bit different. Where you know how
Yeah.
it is when you're sitting in there as a player.
Yeah. Well,
And
yeah, what people don't understand is that the running back, we have so much information to process in in a short amount of time. Okay, let's just say for instance, we play against the play clock. So you got 25 seconds to get the play in, and sometimes the coaches don't get the play in until there's 15 seconds left on the clock, or maybe even 10, depending on what type of offense that you're running. So they bring in the play where you got to process, okay, it's a pass play. I'm gonna go through pass protection because that's the most information that we got to process in a short amount of time.
And then
Okay,
when
we got
people
to
moving
come on.
around and they don't get a mic call
Exactly.
right off the bat,
Right. Now you screaming at the quarterback, who the mic, so you can know who you going to. But you break the huddle, you get the play in, you break the huddle. Okay, the first thing you got to do is know the front, know what type of front they in. So if they in an odd or even, you know what type of front they in. The second thing you're gonna do is watch who the center mic point. If you miss the mic point, the quarterback is gonna remic it anyway. So he'll remic the mic point. Okay, you got to figure out. Okay, after he make the mic point, if it's a four down front, I got Will plus four strong plus 4 weak. So you know what I mean. I got boom boom and come back. You know what I'm saying? So I got to check. But usually, if you're a smart player, you can see the safety rotation and see what type of defense they're gonna be in. See who coming and who's not coming. Most of the time, some defenses don't know how to disguise, which mean disguise mean is not show the formation but before the play, meaning that they're gonna try to hold that formation and make you think they in cover two, which really they may be in cover six or whatever. But and then after you do all that processing,
you still
remember
got to get out a route.
the running back still have a route because it's pass protection. So the only time that a running back won't have a route if it's one of those protection where it's max protection where the running back know he don't get out. So that usually the easiest thing when in max protection because you can't
Because then
mess
you
up max
then you
protection.
just say, hey, if anybody comes free, I'm picking them up anyway.
you're like, whoo, thank you.
But once you because they people don't understand how long a play call is. A play call can be a whole sentence depending on what type of coach you got. Especially for somebody like Lane Kiffin, Steve Sarkisian, and all these guys, and Schneider out there in Seattle. They have a long play call, which the running back um, information gonna be first, and well, the formation, then the protection, then the running back uh, um,
Pass
job.
pro.
Then they get into the receivers X, Y, Z, and the tight ends and all that. But that you got to process all of that because of you have to listen to the whole play. There ain't no one word that you can just listen to and say, "Oh, I got this on that." Nah, because of you in the route with the receiver, so you got to know what the receiver's doing. You got to know what the offensive line doing, and you got to know what the defense is doing as well. And you got to remember that route that is called in that protection to get out on. It may be a flat, it may be a swing, it may be a Texas route, it even may be a wheel, but still at the same time, you still have to get out in your route because one thing, if you don't get into your route and the QB gets sacked, they're gonna blame it on the running back because they're gonna say the running back not where he's supposed to
Yep,
be.
you're supposed to be the check
But
down.
if the running back get out too early and the quarterback gets sacked, and it's still the running back fault because they're saying the running back got out too early, then go through a read. So if the quarterback gets sacked on any one of them, it's gonna always be on the running back, no matter what went on in the play. He can be in a green dog. Green dog mean that the uh, linebacker act like he gonna drop back and wait for you to get out to your route, and then he blitzes to mess up the whole play and then make it seem like you did a mistake because you got out and the guy green dog you and came. But yeah, it's a lot of information to take in that a lot of people don't know that the running back got to process in 3 to 4 seconds. That's a lot
Hmm.
of information.
You know what I heard? I think now because I always be wondering what the running back when you be watching on TV because what he's not also not saying is the crowd noise and people when they can't hear maybe they missed the point or whatever how they're giving their signals. But it always seems like when that quarterback moves and he gets up and start talking, it's
Right.
always funny to me because it's
When the
like
running back got to get up there too.
the running back is walking with him like his little
Yeah,
puppy
Hey,
dog. Like, man, what you
what
saying?
you
What
say?
you
What you
saying?
say?
What you
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
What you doing, man?
yeah. What you trying? Hey, what you trying to play to? What you trying to? You know?
Yeah, man, that's so funny to me. I'm like, look at him all over. Back up, I'm quarterback. But they back up off me, man.
Yeah, man.
Back up yourself,
Especially if you
man.
had a if you had a coach like Bert Burns and you ain't get that play call, he do not care what went on. It is your responsibility to get that play call if the quarterback changed that play. He don't care if you stop the offense and be like, hold on, man, who my point? I mean, I done it at practice before. Like, I done walked and stopped and said, ho, man, who the mic point? You know, like I told the center, hold on. Like, we out in the formation going through cadence. I'm like, who the mic point? You know, but they rather for you to do that than to get the quarterback sack and lose yards.
All right, okay. So let's progress this a little bit, right? So because I'm hearing you have to do this, how does this match up or marry with the screen game? Because I feel like it. I don't know, but I feel like some of it is played off of the type of protections that you have when people are trying to blitz you because of the way you guys slip out.
Right.
So go ahead.
Actually, it is because pass protection and screens are similar because those guys set and the defensive end get upfield and the running back stay in like he checking protection. So during the screen, running back have to really be an actor because you got to act like you in pass protection. So that was only make the screen good. And Ezekiel Elliott, he run the best screen that I've seen. Uh, so far. And one thing that he does, he's such an acting on blocking, which is why he always get a chunk amount of yards on his screens. And he also had great offensive linemen as well. But you have to be a great actor. You have to sit in there as long as you can. And once you see that guard and that tackle and that center get out of there, and then you turn and run with the center, you want to be behind the line of scrimmage. So just in case something happens, it's a dead play or whatever. But usually the ends get upfield, and some like Ole Miss have great defensive ends. Those guys that some great defensive end, fast guy that likes to get upfield real quick because they're trying to do what sack the quarterback and they're trying to beat the O line off the ball, and those guys get upfield, and you see the tackle they do two kick slides, and the running back have to sit in there, and when that line get out and running, the running back run with them. But to go back to what you were saying, how it mirror with the protection, like we just were talking about, is that the whole acting part. If they come out there, Mike the guy, and you point to whoever you gonna go to, like it's a pass protection, which in so many sense it is, but you just not having no responsibility to block anybody unless it's one of those one where you chip the end and turn around real quick, which is only two guys getting out for you to block down the field.
Okay, that's great explanation. I appreciate that. So let's tie this in to Alabama and what's going on now, because this is my opinion. You haven't said this or anything else, but it seemed like the way that they've been rushing up at Milrow. It appears to me, and both of you guys can tell me, it just seemed like the pressure is coming so fast. JT and I broke down the film a couple weeks ago, I think, when
Mhm.
it seemed like he had about, what'd you say, a second before people were all up on him. So, do you think that this should be a bigger part of our package with Milrow with running screens to running backs?
Yeah, I would say that would be a great. I haven't seen them run on screen with the running backs this season. If we have, I may have missed it. But since we don't have the offensive line that we expected to have, screens right now be great for to the running back because of one, they in their head they think the running back can't block, and two, they think the offensive line can't block, which put them in a sense of they can get to the QB fast, which most teams been trying to do lately, trying to get to the QB fast. And if the running backs is such an actor, like they don't block nobody anyway, it might as well slip, might as well slip out and get the ball and get a chunk of yard because those guys up front. I mean, I watched the film today. Like that guy wasn't supposed to touch that. He was supposed to go and because it looked like they was in a nub where their defensive end was slid in and he was almost I couldn't really see. Looked like he was in the maybe a four or five or whatever. But we still had a tight end over there who which they were supposed to block down, which center was supposed to take that nub, and that guard was supposed to take that guy that was over the center, and that tackle was gonna take that the defensive tackle, and the other two guys that pulled around was supposed to pull for that end, and anything else that inside or outside. And that is a misdirection play, which Clemson
Yep.
used to do back in the day. Run one, which is a two-way, which is an option. Same thing. You can either give it to the running back if the end squeeze down, if the end come up field, quarterback keep it and run behind those two guys that pull them in the misdirection.
And we'll draw that up after the break that we have, or we'll let you actually see the play that he's actually referring to um, a little bit later. So I'm in agreement with that. JT, I want to ask you this because you did play some running back in college or in high school. I don't know
A
if how
little bit
much
in
of that you
college
play
too.
in college as well. So, what about the prep for this as a running back and working the timing and all this kind of stuff? How difficult did you think it is to actually try to execute pass protection and screens with the short amount of time you have in practice?
Usually for me, it just you have to know your offensive line. You got to know when they finna get off, and another thing you have to find that small window because the quarterback is gonna be trying to get it out of their hand because those guys don't the tackle's gonna let they guys go and because they got to get out and pull for you. So they only it's only a 2 second count really, and some teams do 4 second count, but really it's only a 2 second count because the offensive line only kick sliding twice, and that is the time. And you just have to know your offensive line and know where to get to and try to get into that small window that your quarterback can see you and dump it right over the defensive end head, and you take it up between the number and the hash. In college, the number top of the number in the hash, you want to run straight down there. That's usually what we try to get it, but some guys get it on the numbers and some guys get it between the numbers and the hash, and some guys, do it differently between the numbers and the sideline or top of the numbers, however you want to do it. But the timing of it is usually like a 2 second time, 1,000, 1,000, and then you'll see your offensive line getting out, running back slip behind the offensive line, quarterback dumping right out there to him in a small window.
All right. What about you, JT?
So what I think about is you ever you ever been somewhere, whether you're in high school or and you just with a group of people, and then like everybody just take off and start running, and you just don't ask questions, and you're like, I don't
Yeah.
know what's happening, but we running.
Yeah.
That's to me, that's the
Everybody
same
running,
thing
I'm
on the
running
screen.
too.
I wouldn't. I ain't had no mental clock. I'm sitting there just like, all right, when they start running, I'm gonna start running. I don't care what's going
Right.
on. So you sit there,
Yeah.
pat your feet, put your hands up like you're doing something, and you just wait till one of them big dudes take off and start running. And say,
Hey,
I'm behind that dude.
I'm not a good screen runner because one, I try to get out too quick. And I don't know. I think I get out too quick because I don't want the quarterback to get sacked, and I want the ball, And I'm not a good screen runner because I get out too quick. I beat the offensive line out there sometimes, and
You ain't a good screen runner because you too big. You can't hide. The best screen runners we can hide behind the line. They
Yeah,
can't
see,
see
because
where they at.
he not a good screen runner because he wasn't
Yeah,
afraid to get hit. I was afraid to
yeah.
get hit. I'm like, I'm standing behind these dudes. Ain't no way I'm finna beat these dudes out here.
Shoot, but it's fun, and I like watching it. I can't remember if the Eagles used to run a lot of screens.
so did the
Certain
Cowboys. Cowboy used to
yeah,
run a lot of screen too.
just tons of screens, and there's so many different kinds. We're kind of giving you one a little slip screen, but it's just so many ways to do it. Tight end screens, wide receiver screens, running back screens to the left, to the right, in the middle, across the formation. I don't know all those things, and
Yeah.
it's a very interesting part of the game to me as a coach, just to be able to see because from a defensive standpoint, it's hard to get your guys in position to know, okay, who contains, who's splitting, who's supposed to be
It's
on the
always just
inside.
hard getting the
You know,
defensive lineman being like, "Yo, man, you're
they
not
ain't
getting to
blocking
the
you.
quarterback
Change.
that easy. I know you
You
got the sack,
ain't-
but you're not that fast, and it ain't that easy."
Yeah, why is he running backwards like that? Yeah, that ought to be a sign. But some defensive linemen see it as soon as they go, they stop. And then they
Yeah,
just go over there, get next to the running back. That's when he throw it into the ground. It's kind of awareness. But
Jay
okay,
Reed, one of the guys that real good at reading screens that I know of. Jay Reed and Ruben. Ruben used to call the screen out before we even ran the play.
no, yeah, see, that's great. Okay, so talk about some runs for me real fast. When you played at any level, and maybe they were different at any level. What were your favorite runs?
I'm more of an inside zone type of guy. I like inside zone, and the reason why I like inside zone because some miss the B gap, and some coaches want you to take it, read the B gap. But I like inside zone because you can really pick where you want to go. It's
Mm,
just that you have to be a great running back to make the defense do what you want them to do. So what I mean is, if you want to get outside or whatever, it's very hard to get outside on the inside zone. But one of the things that I love to do is I love pressing that line and looking at that linebacker right in his eye. And soon as he take a step forward, I got the peripherum. I see that hole opening up backside, and then I like to jump cut into that
that's that
hole and
jump cut. They don't know nothing about that jump
yeah.
cut. No, they don't know about no jump cut to that backside of the gap.
Man, jump cut to that backside A gap is you on the safety 1-on-1. And
Mhm.
I did a lot of inside zones with the Birmingham Stallions and but we ran it from the gun. And I can I like it from the gun, but I like it from one back because you have more room. You can really see what's going on. Where you can really see who twisting, who stun, who blitzing. Where your man's at, and you can really see. But from that's why sometimes you see guys running from the shotgun. They always go across the run on this the QB and then try to cut it back
Good man.
because they anticipate that cutback is gonna be there like it is when it one back. But if it's out of the gun, you really gotta press it. But most of the time, it usually that hole usually gonna be where your landmark is, or it'll be play side. Very rare that it open up backside. It have to
Quarterback
that
footwork got to
defense
be really good.
right there, and that defensive end got to be upfield as well, or it got to be a certain amount of yards in the gap in order for you to squeeze up in a tightrope off the tackle ass or whatever, tackle
Okay,
butt.
yeah, it's okay. So what's the Bama's best run play and Bama's worst play? You say don't run that no more. Right now, currently.
Right now, what I think that we should be doing is strings and some inside zone with the
With the tight end.
pro style offense with the tight end, either or maybe even two tight ends or one tight end, just a pro style to give that running back some time to go through his reads as he have the ball, opposed to doing it out of the gun where he only can make one move and that's it, and the play dead. And I seen Justin Hayne do it from the gun when Middle Tennessee. I mean, but he made something out of nothing. It wasn't nothing backside, wasn't nothing front side, and he got put his shoulder down and got a dirty 4 yards actually. But the best play that they should be doing right now, I think they should do some screens and some inside zone from the one back formation. And I don't see us doing outside zone right now as a run play because I don't think that our guys are fast enough to run sideline to sideline to get those guys hooked. I don't think they fast enough to do that yet. And I think that's why we haven't seen none of that yet because our offensive line is not fast enough to reach those guys outside shoulders.
Well,
I agree with
you,
that.
do you want to answer your question from your show?
Yeah. So the question is, for all the over anxious Alabama fans, how soon will we get heavy dose of Justice Haynes?
Well, Justice Hayne, he's injured right now. I know that he had a little quad contusion, but I would like to see more Justice Haynes too. It have to be an injury that holding him back right now because of during camp. If he wouldn't got hurt, he was gonna be fighting for the starting job with Judge McCullough because Justin Haynes came in early. He got the playbook. He one of them guys that work hard. He knew the playbook, knew his job, knew his assignment. Did everything right. And he was up there at the top, battling for that number one job. But then he got injured. But I think that if Justin Haynes get healthy and we play this dude, I think he'll be similar to Derrick Henry.
Ooh, and you played with him, you saw him. So, okay, all right. So, JT, I think this is the point where you need to give your talk or whatever because we want to end this up so we can actually get on the board and start showing um, some film.
Okay. Well, with that said, we're gonna get in the chalkboard. We're gonna show a little film. If you are on YouTube, nothing for you to do. Stay here. If you are listening to the recorded podcast and there is no screen for you where you can see our lovely faces, now is the time to pull over, open the YouTube app, go to Teague's Take, or go in your browser, hit live.teagstake.com, come find us, find our latest show, and you can see all the things we're about to show here with film in the board. If not, then we'll see you next time.
Peace.
All right.
Okay. So here we are. Let me let me just talk about this real fast. You guys help me just for this is an educational piece. Okay, traps, uh, powers, and counters. And what we're going to show, I guess, is considered a counter, right? So when people hear traps, can y'all see this? Is this okay? It doesn't
Yeah,
really
I'm,
matter.
I'm about to make this a little bit bigger for our audience. Give me a second while I produce.
Okay, and you guys can help. I'm not even going to put a real play up. I just want people to kind of see what it um, what it may look like, right? So when I think of traps, and maybe you guys think of the same, right? There's short traps and long traps, but typically there's at least one puller, right? So there's someone you're not going to block. So let's
Do you
just say
have
that
linebackers up there? Because if so, you need to move your drawing down to.
Yeah.
no, no, I didn't. Can you see that? I don't, but
Yeah, I can.
Uh,
We can see the ends and the tackle. So if you can put the offensive line like even with counters, with your word counters there,
hmm
right.
there you go.
That's good.
okay. But I don't have to. I put them in here just for good measure. But we're talking about traps. I am. Typically, you're not blocking somebody. Short traps, you're not blocking a tackle. Typically, the three technique. You guys don't know what the three technique is outside of the guard. If a long trap, I call it, is you block it, trying to kick out an end. So for this case, let's just say it's a uh, inside trap, right? So we're talking about a puller, like we said. We're not going to block him. A lot of times we talk about trapping. This guy's going to go up, right? He's coming to block that tackle. The running back, whether it's shotgun or not, is looking to come off, as Bo said, off this guy's ass, right? Okay.
Correct.
Hey,
If it was
so just an anecdote for me because I know you had asked. Bo only answered half of your question. He told you what his favorite was, but he didn't tell you what your least favorite was.
yeah,
Uh, Trap is
My
my least
least,
favorite
yeah, trapping my least favorite as well.
because
why?
you get
Because if they miss him,
yeah,
then he's
quick,
right
you
Yeah,
get the
there.
ball, and that dude is right there.
Yeah.
exactly.
So just that's the inside trap, and just think of it, the other way that sometimes they might not block this guy, and he would have to come and try to kick him, and it's just his angle would change. Okay, so that's all. I just want to make sure we got that. Powers, I like as a coach.
I like Powers as well. It's kind of a slow play.
Yeah, I
Uh,
can I can deal with power. Of the three that you have, power is my favorite. Trap is my least favorite. I'm okay with counter. I just
so I'm going to draw this up this way. It could be in any. It doesn't have to be in this look, but typically, what I want you to see, or what I want them to see, is that there's two people involved in the power, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. And he could come from somewhere else. There's still the trap kind of puller just coming around, but you got another guy coming that's typically taking the end, right? Am I right about that?
Correct.
This guy's coming up in here. He's kicking him, and then now you're falling behind two guys. I love this. I think it's just a I'm better than you. I'm stronger than you. I'm creating extra gaps. This kind of stuff. This is smash mouth football to me, and that's why I like it. Again, these could come. This guy could come from somewhere else, right? Anything I need to point out about that is it's simple. I just want people to
Yeah.
see what it was. Okay, so people get confused on the counters, and this is the play that we're actually going to draw up or let JT show on the film here in a minute. Is basically two pullers from the same side, so we're blocking back. Then we got a puller coming this way and another one coming around like that. Running back still doing the same stuff, right? Any
Right.
question?
So for the layman, give me the bullet points. How would you give me the one sentence on what differentiates a trap from a power versus a counter?
Okay. Trap only deals with one puller,
Mm-hmm. Correct.
right?
Right.
Counters have two pullers, and a power has one puller, and I don't know what we call them. I'm
And a
saying
lead.
a lead and one lead,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's my about as lame as I can get it. I think.
No, I think that's good because I know that there are some that would say, and I'm sure there are some coaches that do this, but there were some that would say that powers when you pull and kick out the end, trap is a tackle. You're gonna pull and you're gonna try to kick out a defensive tackle, and counters too. Um, but I wanted you to give a more general, more ubiquitous definition of what these
Yeah.
threes are.
Okay, makes sense. All right, so now let's get to this play. This is a it's an it's a unsuccessful play, but it'll still give an idea of what a kind of looks like, and then we let's try to break it down and say what we think it should be or should not have been. Okay,
Okay.
so what he's going to put on the screen is he's probably going to have to keep running this back time and time again.
Yeah,
It's
I'm trying to
negative,
get
but
my
so
I'm
all
trying to
right,
get
go
my
back and
controls up.
okay.
Okay, here we go.
So
Can
while
you
you're looking at
can you
this, look
freeze
at
it?
this.
Hmm.
Can you go to the tight copy for me? Can you go back just a little bit? Yeah.
Here we go. Now I don't have JT may have a pointing tool. I don't have a pointing tool, so
No,
you
I
can
don't have a pointing tool. I'm not that
It's all
good yet.
good.
I'm working on it, but I'm not that
the
good yet.
offensive left. So what they need to look at before Bo starts talking about is up top or to the offensive left, the left guard and the left tackle actually pull, and everybody else is blocking down. And
Yep.
then I want to get I'll let Bo go first and kind of talk about what happened in this play and what he thinks, and then let JT go
All
um,
right.
after that.
First, I want to say that we kind of, if you look at those two guys up top, you can see that they are two two steps back behind their original alignment. If the people know what I'm talking about, know
So
football, they'll know
they
what I'm
giving it
talking about.
away. Is that what you're
Giving
saying?
it, they're giving it away now that I see that. And this is the nub that I was talking about. But now that I'm looking at it, it looks like it's a bare front with a old. Well, they're not tight enough to be a
Now
bare
it
front,
it
but
it, it
it
looks
Looks like a 4-3-4. Well,
it
yeah,
looks like a
a
tight front
shade
to me. It
one.
looks like two four eyes and a nose.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, so yeah, with a yeah, so yeah, that's what it is. And those guys, I wish I had a bullet point, but that center, that guard, the right guard and the right tackle, which is over 99,
Hmm.
that side, though that center is going for that wide guy out there, which is the nub guy. That guard is going towards this nose tackle, which is over the center, and that tackle is blocking down on that 4 eye
So they're going to leave
right there.
99. They're 99 will be
99 is
unlocked on that side. They're the guy
yes,
that he's trying to kick out.
that's the guy they're trying to kick out. That's what it from watching it play. That's what it looked like to me. But I think that Ole Miss messed them up with that nub because it looked like Jalen Miro don't know who to read right here. Because of if he read that right, he would have kept it and not gave it to Jason McCullum because those guys got beat soon as the ball was snapped.
Boy, you went to
So
the punchline fast, didn't you? Why he going to the punchline quick? Just tell everybody, man, you got to set him up, Bo.
oh, sorry.
He said he'd get out in front of them screens.
Yeah, getting out, boy. Premature ejaculation over here, man. Cut it out.
Right.
But anyway, go ahead,
but
finish.
yeah, I don't think that he read this right because if he did, it looked like he tried to pull it. If you go back and it looked like he tried to pull it, but it was too late. That Jason looked like who was that back there?
26.
Yeah, it looked like he clamped down on it already and he couldn't get it out, so he just let him keep
Because
it.
they got it
But
blocked. I
yeah,
mean, if he keeps it, 57's over 89.
Dude, so I'm looking at this right now. I'm looking at Seth McLaughlin. He's the center.
hmm
I understand he's supposed to be blocking down on the defensive end at the top of the screen.
That's a long way,
It's
boss. By the way.
look what
yeah,
he
that's a
does.
long
This
way.
this is how this shows you how long of a down block this is. He actually just dives.
Right.
Yeah, you can't get that. Okay.
And I'm not saying this is a bad block. I'm just pointing this out to say
Yeah, it just
that's
so like I
so
said, Ole
far
Miss
to
just
get.
called her. Yeah, Ole Miss just called the right play at the right time then because they had a nub on that side and we ran towards the north side and they got blown up.
So, do you think, and this would be one that I would ask Jay Scott too as an offensive lineman, but how hard is it to run counter plays when you got a zero, you know, and two fours? Is that better to try to do it then, or should we be coming out knowing that the center can't really
I would like to know what Jay Scott's
get to
thought
it?
is, because I think that Jay Scott is not a fan of gap scheme runs against an odd front.
I 100% agree with that. He'd rather try to double up, um, identify the five that they need to block. Or there were some times that he would talk about maybe trapping somebody. Because if your guards aren't covered, you still could run a quick trap.
Right.
But anyway, so we ended up getting tackled for loss. So when I saw this, I immediately thought, okay, was this a mistake or was this just a dumbass call, if I can say it? Because there's no way you can block them guys up there, right? Realistically, you with the angles that you're asking our center and our right guard
Guard.
to
It's pretty
block those
far.
two guys with the running back going towards those guys, that was doomed from.
Yeah, because 51 does a good job of actually just reading this down
Slipping
block
right
here.
through.
Yeah, he reads the down block and he's like, okay, so he's blocking down. That means ball's coming to me. I need to get in his hip and get up the field. He's not seeing pull right here, and neither is maybe 19 should be seeing pull, but
He doesn't step down. He steps out too.
yeah, he
Right.
steps out.
But he's probably trying to read the tight end, maybe out of peripheral
Mhm.
vision because he got the guy on his shoulder. He might be in a.
Yeah, because I mean, how you would hope that the defense plays this is at least this defensive end would see the pull and try to step towards the center. But as Bo said, if you got this dude sitting out here, and he might not be in a 4 eye. He might be in a
Right.
five.
I can't really tell.
It might be
No,
5-0 4 eye wide five. It's hard to tell this guy up top what technique he's in. But whatever technique he's in is telling him you're not gonna squeeze this pull. right? Because he's
Right.
like you said,
Hmm.
he's got to get out to the tight end. He's probably just trying to hold that gap.
Yeah. Okay. And so when we saw this, I think so. Now I'm going to jump ahead in JT because when I sent it to JT, you're during the game. I sent it to him during the game, so I was way behind in the game because I kept rewinding film, trying to watch the game. But can you tell everybody what your comment was? Do you remember what your comment was when I
Well,
said? Yeah.
let me find it. I know you sent it to me. Um, yeah, and I said I think I think that was supposed to be, or I think that was Veer, and Milrow was supposed to keep it. Is what I thought.
Yes. Okay. And
Because we played a
Yeah,
team
sound good.
that did this to us. Um, they would run counter. If you give this same set, if you're looking at the screen, they give the same set, but they would pull guard tackle to the bottom of the screen on the same side as the running back, and they'd run just like your traditional counter.
so you said he should be reading 19, or he should still reading
Right.
somebody.
Right. I'm
No,
saying he probably should be reading 19, and
that's
once
what
he
it looked
sees
like
that
he was
step,
trying to read.
His
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
eyes were
looking at his
that
face
way.
mask too.
His eyes
He's
were that
looking at night.
yeah, he's out in there. Yeah,
I'm not
I agree with you.
I'm not sure what he sees right now that says
That's definitely a
give him the
pull.
ball. Yes, this is
Definitely
a
a
pull
pull.
Definitely a
read
pull.
all the
And that's
way.
what it, and that's why I say it looked like he tried to pull it back once he seen those two guys, but it looked like guy already clamped down on it.
Leave it right there. Don't move it. Just look at the running lane that
Running
he
lane,
moves it.
yeah,
He's probably going to hit
definitely.
the pylon, and that's why I'm thinking. So my talking point about this is I was uh, kind of hinted at that they didn't really want him running up the middle of the field, or he didn't feel comfortable running up the middle of the gut, and that's why you saw some of the sweeps, which they did run this week, quarterback sweep just right out the gate, and a couple outside runs with him. I'm wondering if this is a precursor right here for us to see more
Well, yeah.
of
So
this.
I'll tell you when I was, doing some of our game planning, and I was seeing things like this. I kept calling it. Um, I kept calling it counter read, right?
Okay, that's good.
And what I realized, at least from the team that we were playing, that it actually wasn't a read.
He should pull it every time.
Right. It was a design. It was not a. If you want to call it, play action, like fine, call it play action. But the point was, the team that we were playing, this was not a read where he could hand it off to the quarterback or to the running back. It was a designed run for the quarterback, and he was just going to
Quarterback
follow the
counter.
bars.
That's what
Right.
I've always thought. It's
That's
just a
all it
quarterback
is.
counter.
Right. So when I saw this, that's kind of where my head was at. Was like, I don't even know why this is a read. Like, why I don't. I just have a hard time envisioning what is
26
the
ever being free.
scenario in which you would actually hand the ball off when your guards are pulling the other way.
That's why I said bust. Got to be a mistake. There's no way. I think just I'm with you. I think he was just supposed to pull it. Maybe he's looking at something else. I don't know, but I know it's a great play. I mean, you can even look at who is that? 60.
This
All
is
right,
Jam
all right
Miller. Oh,
guard.
I think the running back is probably Jam Miller.
No, I'm talking about our right guard. I mean,
Oh,
he seals it off so good on number 11 or 17 after he
number
puts a
11.
hand on the guy.
Yep.
Look at him, right? Man, it just seems like he's just like, man, somebody come on and get behind me.
Right.
Um, so I'm hoping that the reason why I brought this up, and this might be this is a great look right here when you look at it from the deal because they don't have enough.
There's nobody. There's nobody.
Everybody's
The
blocked.
next guy in the frame is the referee.
Everybody is blocked.
Mm.
So I'd be interested to see what I wish I was a fly in the quarterback meeting room or in the team meeting room and say, "Hey, dude, look at this, Jalen Milrow with that much room,
Hey, so this is
bro."
to me, this is one thing that I'm looking at. I think this is Oots, the tight end here at the
Hmm.
top. His
He gets his
blocking
block.
leverage. So to me, I think if this is a read, if there's actually a read attached to this where the running back is gonna bounce this outside, the tight end would be trying to block on the other side, right? He wouldn't be trying to
He's
kick out.
knocking him outside. Yes, he's knocking him out.
So
That's what
I
you're
think
saying,
the
too.
ball was designed to go here, and
When you
untrained
think the
eye.
ball was this, you think the ball was trained to go where?
Milrow right up.
Where Mil,
Yeah.
inside of you can see 11's back here. It should I don't know who this
That's the right
lineman
guard.
is that's sealing 11, but it should be going right off of his butt.
Right.
And,
Yes.
and I'm
Straight up
saying
the
that
middle
there's
of the field.
I don't think there's a read here, because if there was a read where the running back's going to get the ball, the tight end is not going to help. The tight end's block right now is not helping him get
He's
to the
got a
edge.
seal.
Right.
He
Yeah,
got-
because I was just what I was looking at, because if that running back, just say for instance, those guys doesn't get blown up, well, the running back job is to get outside because he running so flat.
Yep.
Because he's so flat when he got it. So I can tell that they're trying to loop around the defense. They're trying to circle the defense actually.
Well, it is my goal and wish that I hope that we see this and that I can come back next week and show this done the proper way, because this could be a very, very dynamic play with Jalen Milrow.
Well,
I do
with
feel
that being said, I gotta start playing your music, because
Yes,
we're
sir.
10 minutes over time.
We're past time. Well, we do thank everybody for coming. Listen to the show. We got karaoke going on out here a little bit tonight at Atlanta. Bo Scarborough, oh man, thank you for coming in. Spend a little bit of time.
sir.
Just want to go listen to the
Thank you
Bama
for having
Standard, do those things, and we'll be back next week. Same time, same place. Well, sorry, 8:15, not 8:30 next week. Appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Peace.
Peace.